Okay, the Planning and Zoning and Historic Committee is now in session. We got about 2.5 pages. We got several that we got a letter from Charlotte Tigert for Bill 905. Got a letter from Sean McGuire for Bill 897. We also have a bill from Bill Pridemore, which is a resolution 1293. Buddy Baker has 1293. 903 and 907. Karen Johnson has a letter for 908. And that's all of the letters we have. The first item is Resolution 2014-1293, and this is a resolution from sponsor is Baker and Pridemore, a resolution approving an intergovernment agreement between Metro and the state to use space inside the Metro Nashville Police Department West Precinct as a state of Tennessee driver's license kiosk facility. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Comments or questions? Seeing none, Resolution 1293 is approved. The next item is Resolution 1296. It's a resolution by Western Home, and it's a resolution authorizing Powell Construction Studio, LLC, to construct and install an area encroachment at 904 Main Street. Is there a motion? Second? Comments or questions? Seeing none, 1296 is approved. The next item is Bill 2014-927. The sponsor is Evans. Is this the one Charlie's taking for her? No, it's 905. Okay, we'll roll it to the hill to see what happens on that one, okay? The next item is 2014-928, Dowell, Davis, Anthony Davis, and Hunt. This is an ordinance authorizing Metro to negotiate and accept easement for the Bell Road Stormwater Improvement Project for two properties located at 550 and 554 Bell Road. Is there a motion? Questions or comments? Seeing none, Bill 928 is approved. The next item is Bill 2014-929. The sponsors are Bennett and Anthony Davis and Hunt. An ordinance to authorize Metro to negotiate and accept easement for the Tucker Hole Drive Stormwater Improvement Project for four properties located at 602, 603, and 605 Tucker Hole Drive and 114 Ryan Drive. Is there a motion? Questions or comments? All in favor? 929 is approved. The next item is 2014-930. Harrison, Anthony Davis, and Hunt, an ordinance authorizing Metro to negotiate and accept easements for the County Hospital Road Stormwater Improvement Project for various properties located along County Hospital Road, Doak Avenue, and Manchester Avenue. Is there a motion? Second? Is there a second? Question or comments? All in favor? 930 is approved. The next item is 2014-931. Johnson, Anthony Davis, and Hunt. This is an ordinance authorizing Metro to negotiate and accept easements for the Wildwood Drive Stormwater Improvement Project for 13 properties located along Rural Hill Road, Rural Hill Circle, and Wildwood Drive. Is there a motion? Second, comments or questions? Seeing none, 931 is approved. Next bill is Bill 2014-932. It's a sponsor is Evans, Anthony Davis, and Hunt. An ordinance to authorize Metro to negotiate and accept easement for the Cornwall Drive Stormwater Improvement Project for 3 properties located at 6517, 6525 Brownlee Drive, and 6541 Cornwall Drive. Is there a motion? Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor? 932 is approved. Okay, Benny, Scott Davis, Gilmore, Harrison, Johnson, McGuire, Tenpenny. The next item is Bill 2014-933, Anthony Davis and Hunt. This is an ordinance authorizing Metro to negotiate and accept easements for the Kenner Avenue Stormwater Improvement Project for 9 properties located along Kenner Avenue and Ainsworth Place. Is there a motion? Comments or questions? Seeing none, Bill 2014-933 is approved. Next bill is Bill 2014-881. The sponsor is Scott Davis. An ordinance to change from RS5 to RM20-A zoning for properties located at 1223 North 6th Street. Is there a motion? Second? Comments or questions? All in favor? 881 is approved. The next item is 2014-896. Scott Davis. An ordinance to change from RS5 to SP zoning for various properties located along Ayrton Street, Berry Street, Cleveland Street, Douglas Avenue, Everston Avenue, Joseph Street, Lecia Avenue, Meridian Street, Montgomery Avenue, North 2nd Street, North 5th Street, North 6th Street, North 7th Street, North 8th Street, Pinnock Avenue, Richardson Avenue, Steinbach Avenue, Stockle Street, Truland Street Avenue, Vaughn Street, and Vernon Winfrey Avenue. Is there a motion? Any comments or questions? Okay, Councilmember Claiborne.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I cannot support this bill. I plan to vote against it. And, we had a similar issue that was brought to us that would have basically applied to the whole county to do this kind of thing. And the overwhelming feeling was that that wasn't a good thing. And so when you look at 238 acres with, I've forgotten, over 700 homes, I think, that are involved in this, unless there were somewhere close to 80% of those people that were in favor of this, I couldn't support it. I wouldn't even move it forward if it were my district unless there were overwhelming support. I think it's a bad deal to take RS property and allow a second dwelling on that property, in essence making that R-zoned property. Doing SP is simply going around, doing an end run around the RS zoning. And so I don't support this, and I plan to vote against it.
Okay. Councilman Davis.
I'm still going to ask for deferral. However, I'd like to respond to some comments. Some months ago, when we were discussing this for the whole county, I am the only RS district that is less than a mile from the downtown inner core. I am the only RS district that is in the inner core in the urban services area that is, I could throw a rock from McFerrin Park and hit one of our largest buildings. The other districts that are close to downtown are general R zoning. However, though, I don't remember who or exactly what was said, but I remember during that joint committee meeting, wanting this for my district because a lot of my members were wanting it and were upset that they were left out of that because of their close proximity to downtown. However, some of my colleagues who were against it were in support of me having it for my district, knowing that I have a lot of alleys. And that's what makes this a great plan, is because the intense alley access that I have. The reason why I have that alley access is because of my closeness to downtown. And I'm going to defer this thing for 2 meetings to have another community meeting and more little small meetings at houses. But at the same time, the reason why that I have an anomaly is because some years ago, I was rezoned from R to RS. And being that close to downtown in the urban services area. And so I am going to ask for a deferral on this to have another meeting. But the problem that and so I'm going to ask I want to defer this thing for 2 meetings.
And that's a motion, right? Okay, it's been moved to defer for how many meetings? 2 meetings? Is there a motion? Any questions, comments? All in favor for 2 meeting deferral? 881 is approved. 896 is approved. 2 meeting deferred, right? That's how I got it. 2 meeting deferral, you got it. The next item is Bill 2014-897. It's McGuire's to sponsor. This is an ordinance to change from R10 to RS10 zoning for various properties located along Auburn Lane, Dartmouth Avenue, Tulane Court, and Woodmont Lane. Is there a motion? Second? Comments or questions? Seeing none? Okay, I'm sorry.
I saw that we have Carrie here. If she could explain this bill, please, and just the zoning more specifically, R10 to RS10, and what it allows and does not allow.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Okay.
The properties are currently zoned R10, which would allow single-family and two-family units. We have worked with the councilman in his request to downzone to RS10, which would only allow single-family units, to remove some of the larger properties and properties that are already have duplexes on them. And so that's why the map looks a little bit different than the last time that it went through the council process, and this is the substitute that was recommended by the Planning Commission.
Okay, I wanted to know too, now, is this just for this section of town, or explain, what does that do? I guess the larger question is, what is for this section of town now? The question is, what does it do in terms of persons that may not be able to afford a single family lot versus the ones that maybe could rent a duplex now in this particular area? And we talk about affordability and diverse housing.
Right, for Bill 897,
Right.
There are some duplexes that are existing, and there's the gaps that you see in the map. The ones shaded in gray on the first map are the ones that are being downzoned, and then some of the gaps that you see are existing duplexes that could either be rented as existing duplexes or redeveloped in the future.
Now, do we assess the whole area when we make changes like this to the maps? like the whole area of Nashville, so how much stock we have in terms of duplexes, how many we have in condos, and then single families, and what that does on the impact for the whole area.
Sorry, Council Lady. We review what's the area that's been requested, and we review it against the land use policy. In this case, staff felt the downzoning the entire area to RS10 was removing some of the housing choice in the area, currently existing in the area, and that's when we worked with the councilman and the community to reduce the number of lots that were being downzoned and to keep some of the lots that were already duplexes. We've also worked with a number of other council members for downzonings in their districts in a similar way, to allow the ones that are either currently duplexes or on larger lots that could accommodate duplexes for those to be taken out of the rezoning.
Okay. Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
897 is approved. The next item is BL 2014-898. The sponsor is Gilmore, an ordinance to change from CF to SP zoning for properties located at 1707 Broadway and at 109, 115, 119, and 121, 17th Avenue North, 17th Avenue South, to permit a mixed-use building of up to 25 stories in height. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
898 is approved. Next item is BL 2014-899. The sponsor is Gilmore. An ordinance to change a portion of Music Road Urban Design Overlay District for properties located at 1707 Broadway and at 109, 115, 119, and 121 17th Avenue South, Zone CF. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Second?
Second.
Comments or questions? All in favor?
First and second if my bill.
899 is approved. Next item is 2014-900. The sponsor is Wiener, an ordinance to change from R15 to RSP zoning for the properties located at 645 Old Hickory Boulevard and 7461 Charlotte Pike to permit up to 322 residential dwelling units. Is there a motion? Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
900 is approved. The next item is BL 2014-902. The sponsor is Blaylock, an ordinance to amend the Nolensville Pike Car Wash Plan, Pacific Plan District for properties located at 5828 Nolensville Pike to permit CS sign standards and an LED sign. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Comments or questions? Councilmember Claiborne.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to vote against this because, we went through a long process 2 or 3 years ago, and then we refined all of those car wash, car sales kind of operations. And one of the things that was written into all of that was to not allow the LED signs. So when you look at the number of car washes that are around the county, this sets a precedent that, other individuals could use to go to the BZA to get a variance. I think this is a bad precedent to set, to allow this one place to do this. And so in context of the greater rules that apply to car washes and car lots, then I'm going to vote against this.
Councilman Tenpenny.
I like Councilman Claiborne. I've I don't like the signs going with the LEDs like that. I think we do take a precedence, but I know this business, and I've been down Nolensville Road where it's at. Without this, you can't even tell that their business is even there. So they really, really need this sign, and I hope that this doesn't set precedents. I really don't, and I hope that this is a one-time thing. And just ask the sponsor of the bill, is that the case? Is this going SP or the planning department? Will this just be for this one specific place, or will this set precedents for the rest of Nolensville Road, rest of Nashville?
From a planning standpoint, that's one of the reasons that the planning staff and the planning commission recommended disapproval, was the fact that it is contrary to the text amendment that was done by council recently. It's also contrary to the land use policy. I think there could be different situations where it has a different land use policy, and it may be reviewed a little bit differently, but in this instance, those are the two reasons why staff and the commission recommended disapproval. I think that it does make it difficult to distinguish in some cases in the future, but that we would really look for reasons why an LED sign needed to be approved in similar situations in the future, so that it didn't create that precedent.
Yeah. I wish the planning department would diligently do some common sense things when it comes to businesses like this, because this business really needs that sign there. I mean, that's how they stay open, and without this sign, they're not going to really. Tell you the truth, I don't think they could stay open. But for that reason, I will be in support for this bill. Thanks.
Councilmember Scott Davis.
I apologize, Chair, if I missed part of that, but Councilman Tenpenny, does this sign already exist and needs to be repaired, or what's the situation with the sign?
You want to put your light on? Okay, you are.
This is a fairly brand-new car wash that opened earlier this year, and it's right in front of the Walmart, and right across the street is another car repair car wash that has a huge LED sign. And this guy, he's got a small little sign, and he's just wanting to take the interior of it and turn it into LED, so he could say that he's open, that he's closed. And what he's running into is he's having people pull in there and they can't back out because it's blocked off. They think they're going to Walmart, or they think it's open when it's almost dusk and it's rainy or whatever, and they can't back out. They have to back out, and they're backing out onto Nolensville Road. So he just really wants to put, the open, the close. It's really kind of a basic sign. The lumens is going to be the same brightness as what's currently there now. So it's really a safety issue in this case. Otherwise, he would have asked to do this earlier on this year when he was building the place. So.
Any other? Councilman Claiborne.
I'd like to ask the sponsor another question. I remember when this gentleman came before the Planning Commission, or before the public hearing, and he mentioned the fact that his driveway was so close to the neighboring parking lot that people were pulling into his driveway thinking that they were going into the larger retail parking lot, and they couldn't back out. So what I'd like to ask the sponsor is it realistic to expect that this small sign that he's asking is actually going to make any difference there? If this driveway is close enough to that other parking lot, are people still going to be turning in there even though this sign is in place? Is it going to be a deterrent to actually solve that problem?
Push your button. Go ahead.
Well, that is a huge question that we really don't know, but that is the goal. That's one of the goals. And just to know whether it's open or not when they're driving past is what he's wanting to. So he's wanting to deter those people that are pulling in, and hopefully it'll help, because you can see the sign, pretty far away, and you'll know where you're going. Hopefully, it is very close, and hopefully people will just, look at the sign before they pull in, if they can see the sign. So, I mean, we don't know whether or not he's going to actually, if it's actually going to stop. That's just his goal. That's,
Okay, Councilmember Westerholm.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A question for the sponsor. I guess as to follow up on Councilman Claiborne's question, and I'm sympathetic towards the matter at hand, would there be any way that might an easier way be to work with the Walmart owners or another area to create some sort of egress so that the lots are connected within? Has that been explored?
we can't do that. There is a huge ravine right there. Otherwise, he would have definitely chosen to do that to capture some of that business, but there's just no other way. And really, if you look at it, if people are looking at it as they're driving, they would realize that it's not the Walmart, but they're not, and they're pulling in too, thinking it's open more so than Walmart. They think it's open, so they pull in. It's not open, and they have to back out. They have to, put it in reverse and back out. And there's one or two cars potentially. So it's a safety issue. It's a really important safety issue, not necessarily just for the Walmart, but just because they don't know whether it's open or closed.
Councilmember Tenpenny?
Yeah, where that property is, thank you, Chair, where that property is, the way the two driveways are, if that small sign's there, I think it would show people as they're pulling up that they're separate. And I think they would know that place would be open or closed by then. So just to reiterate, I will support the bill. Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. 2014-902 is approved.
One no. One no.
One no. Oh, I'm sorry.
One no.
One no?
One no.
You against it? You know? Any other no's? Two no's. Okay. The next item is Bill 2014-903. This is an ordinance to amend a portion of a SP district for properties located at 200 and 202 Ocelot Avenue to permit up to 13 dwelling units. We have a letter to approve. Is there a motion?
Who's the sponsor?
Buddy Baker.
So moved. Second.
Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Bill 903 is approved. The next item is 2014-904. The sponsor is Matthews, and there's no co-sponsor. And he's not here. We'll roll that one to the hill as well. Next bill is 2014-905. The sponsor is Tigard, and this is an ordinance to change from R40 to RS40 to SP zoning for properties located at 6809 and 6813 Charlotte Pike to permit up to 40 dwelling units, and we do have a substitute for 905. And Ms. Logan, you want to explain what the substitute is? Okay, it reduces the number of units.
Reduce it from 40 to 30?
To 34.
Did everybody hear that? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Comments or questions? All in favor of 905 as substituted? Opposed? Bill 905 is approved. Next bill is Bill 906. The author is Gilmore. This is an ordinance to change from IR to SP zoning for properties located at 1309 3rd Avenue North and 1304 4th Avenue North to permit up to 256 multifamily units. Is there a motion? Second? Is there a second?
No. It's a food thing. Yeah, wings involving food.
Waiting on a second.
I hear a second.
Question or comments? Council Lady Gilmore.
Okay, actually, I'm gonna follow up, but I think this gentleman called me, and he actually said he wanted a deferral, but I'll just handle it I'll swing back around and handle it in the main meeting tomorrow night.
So you want to pass it now, right?
I'm gonna go ahead and pass it now, and I'll just do some follow-up, but it seems like he with some more things that he wanted to work out, but I'll follow up. I can
Okay,
follow up.
all in favor? 906 is approved. The next bill is 2014-907. Buddy Baker is the sponsor. This is an ordinance to change from R6 to SP zoning for properties located at 5602 Pennsylvania Avenue to permit up to 9 residential dwelling units. Is there a motion? Second? Comments or questions? Seeing none, Bill 907 is approved. The next bill is 2014-908, Dow Johnson and others, and we do have a letter to approve. This is an ordinance to amend chapters 17.4, 17.8, and 17.16 of the Metropolitan Zoning Code to designate cash advance, check cashing, pawn shops, and title loan as uses permitted with conditions and adding conditions for these uses. Is there a motion?
Second.
Questions, comments? Seeing none, Bill 908 is approved. Huh? I got it.
Yeah, he wants his deferred.
Did you not hear it?
Tomorrow.
They did. You want to do it again? All in favor of Bill 908?
Aye.
908 is approved. That concludes our agenda.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you and good night.